battle. What does verse 8 tell us about this spiritual battle that we're in?
Yeah, because it sounds like, don't let anyone take you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition, or he's got this thing, in my version, it says elemental spiritual forces. Rather than Christ. So there's like three sources of arguments that we deal with. And we're like, there's human arguments. And we thought a little bit about that, where people think they're clever and how easy it is to get taken in by the world and the flesh kind of thing. And they were like, oh, that's... and the world easily captivates all the media around us and arguments and things and that. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. There's that, human. And then, of course, there's Christ, and that's the answer. We only want to be thinking of Christ. But there's this other thing of arguments that are from elemental spiritual forces, like demonic power. And that makes us realize that sometimes the arguments, it's not even just the power of human argument that's behind them. There's like a demonic, a spiritual level of power. And you can see that because sometimes there's things that people believe today in our culture that if we'd gone back even 10 years ago, and we'll say, this is what nearly everyone, like the world at large is going to be thinking like this in just a few years. People go, no, nobody's going to believe that. And it's like, no, they are. And how can that, they'll say, how could everybody start thinking like that? And I think it's this. It doesn't make sense in just human logic that suddenly everybody starts thinking, you know, this thing's true or this thing. And we see that all the way through history. Suddenly an idea that's totally demonic really takes over a nation or a culture. And we can think back at times where you think, how could those people have all got behind that idea and committed terrible atrocities or thought so stupidly? I think the Bible's saying, look, there's this prince of the power of the air kind of element to things. And human beings outside of Jesus are under his power. And that thinking in darkness and stupidity and making no sense, that is a danger. So we need to just think about that. That we'll say, no, I think the way exactly I want to think. No, we're not like that. We're either really, Paul actually says, you're either serving Christ or you're kind of serving Satan, really. You go, I don't want to serve